Stacy, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi, happy
Hey, Jesse, how are
Valentine,
you?
ladies.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Valentine's Day to you too. So I'm calling in with my husband. We were listening to you this morning, and we kind of got in an argument. And I'm not very good at explaining what's going on. I talked to you before. You helped me with my sister and my son AJ.
Are you on a
And so-
are you on a speakerphone or something?
I can be if you want to. We're in the car actually.
Oh no, I don't
want
want.
to hear me.
No, I want. Yeah, I can hear you better without being on it. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just hand it to him when you're ready to talk to him. So I'm just going to kind of tell you what happened. So we were talking about when you said about the lady, how she said, this is multicultural, whatever, and then you said, people aren't speaking up. You need to speak up. Well, he disagreed. He said, I'm brainwashed by you, and that, if people speak up, they lose their jobs. And I was trying to explain to him kind of the things that you say. So he I don't know. He's just against me, not against me listening to you. He knows that there's some things you say are true,
Yes.
but he just thinks I'm brainwashed by you. So I'm going to hand it over to him.
Does he want to talk to me? Hey, Stacy.
Yeah, he was talking.
What's his first name?
Reuben.
Okay, let me talk to Reuben.
Okay. Hello?
Hey, Reuben.
What's going on?
All is well. And so your wife told me that you have some disagreement or something?
Well, yeah, I just think that every situation is different. And what I was saying, like, you call that lady, a B for,
She's a black
that, which,
bitch.
Well, to me, honestly, it's more like to be like a dumbass because she's dumb for doing what she did, and she made an ass of herself for doing that.
Right? She's
So-
all that and then some more.
But exactly. But my thing is with social media nowadays, if there would have been a white person, or even if it would have been a black person, or anybody that would have stood up and said anything to her, it would have gone viral, and that person would look bad. This happened at a college. These people will be in the workforce here in the next year, or 2 years, or 3 years, and these new employers, they go back and look, who wants to bring a bad element like that, or somebody who was vilified for doing something right or wrong? I just think every once in a while, you got to pick and choose your battles and know when to say something and not to say something. To me, if that girl felt how she said we're feeling, I can't remember exactly how she said that, we were feeling uncomfortable. Hey, you know what? There's 100 people. Why don't you pick yourself up and walk out of the situation if you feel uncomfortable, because nobody else there did.
But
You
no
felt
one said that to her. No one spoke up.
Right. Nobody spoke up. But at the same time, too, the way she did what she did, if somebody would have spoke up, and it could have been another black person, it could have been Latino and Asian, all they would have done, like her video right there went viral. That person saying something and then going back and forth, all they would have done was gone viral. They're both going to look like idiots.
So,
But
Stacey,
you know what? They're staying now.
what's your first name?
Reuben.
Reuben, what's more important to you, your things or loving God with all your heart, soul, and might?
Loving God, but you also,
And
it's
if
easier
you
said-
love
it's
God,
easier said than done.
you're right, and there's a time to speak up and a time not to speak. But if you love God and you spoke up in the right time, why would you worry about what's going to happen in the future with your jobs and all that if you
No,
know
but you
and
said it
trust
perfect right
God?
there, though. You said it perfect, though. When you speak up at the right time, and I will speak up
But
at the
that
right
was the
time.
right
I
time
know.
right there.
Well, it's the right time for who, though?
Well, whomever
can
that
be.
was in that room.
Yeah.
It could be. But, like I said, though, once again, if that person speaks up and says something, all of a sudden they get bombarded by, it was a black girl, so let's just say 4 other black people get on this white girl or get on another black girl. They're going to sit there and say, you're an Uncle Tom for sitting there sticking up for everybody else, or racist, or you're against your own kind, whatever, your own race.
But that's why you
that
got to
person's
speak
gonna
up,
look-
Tom, because these people get
Right, but-
worse.
But what's going to happen to that other person, though, that spoke up?
Who cares?
Well, no, she should care.
You
Because
mean?
now she's not going to be able to go out and get a job.
But no, Tom, no.
No, it's not Tom. It's Reuben.
I mean, Reuben, no. Her speaking up is more important than getting the job itself, because speaking up without resentment, you know that God is with you, and He'll provide the job. He'll take care of you. But as long as you See, these people know that they're controlling you with your things, your people, places, and things. And they know that those things are more important to you than what is right, and that you're not going to fight back. And that's why they're able to run over you like that.
See, whether you say something that could have been to like, hey, you know what? There's no need for all that. All it took was that little spark right there because, honestly, she was looking for attention. For what she did, she was looking for attention because she knew that was going to go on social media because somebody was already recording. She knew that was going to happen.
But someone should have told her that. They should have said, you know what, you need to sit down.
Where are her friends? Where are her friends? Her friends should have told her no.
No, the person who loved was right should have told her, and that's what a true friend is.
But what it boils down to is nobody wants to say that in those certain situations because it's going to be that person is being racist. And then that
but why do you care about that,
yes
though? No? Why do you care about that?
Because you know what? They're in college. They're still having to go out and look for a job. They're about to start their life. It's easier said for you, who you're already set in life. You know, you've already got a job. You're behind that microphone. Your money's already coming in. Like myself, too. I'm working. I'm doing my own
But, Ruben, I was speaking up before I got this job.
Well, but you're self-employed, though. They're not.
But I know, but I was doing this beforehand because when God changed my heart, he took away the fear, and he caused me to love him with all my heart, soul, and might. And I know that it's the truth that makes us free. And anyone who has fear, Satan is their daddy.
But it's also speaking the truth that gets you in trouble sometimes, even though it was right.
It's not true.
But,
yes, it is.
But listen, did speaking the truth get Christ in trouble?
No.
But when you work for a corporation, it will get you in trouble because they're trying to be politically correct. Yes or no?
Right, they are. And so, but
okay,
if you're not on your job, hey, Ruben.
Okay, but no.
But if you're not at work, you're at work to work. You're right about that, right? But if you're outside of work, you have to defend yourself.
When I'm outside of work, it's a whole different story.
But those people were not at work.
Right, they're at school. They're at school.
Right.
And that's where I'm saying these kids are about to start their lives. And nowadays, employers will go back and check social media. They'll check your posts. They'll check and well, that keeps you from getting a job.
And
yes, it is.
Start your own job.
Well, hey, Jesse, start a foundation where you can give people who sat there and
free stuff?
You know, not just only get free stuff. Start a foundation where you can do scholarships.
No.
Start a nonprofit group. I mean, I'm just saying. So for these people that speak up, that do the right thing, you know, and then all of a sudden they're handcuffed where they can't go get a job. I mean, what now? I mean, you know, they spent thousands and thousands of dollars going to college, and now they have to go work at McDonald's for $10 an hour.
Ruben, you operate out of fear.
Nah, I don't operate out of fear.
Yes, you are, because you have all these excuses why they should not speak up, rather than encouraging them to speak up.
It's reality.
That's not, but that's only a reality if you believe it. That's Satan's reality. And if you believe in that, then it's not going to work for you.
Well, you know, that's where we're going to have to agree to disagree on that.
About what?
About what you're saying. That speaking up, you know, am I speaking out of fear, or these people are not speaking out of fear? Yeah, they're speaking out of fear. They don't want to speak out of fear that they're going to be vilified, that they're going to be able to get a job, or that they're going to be slammed.
But why make those things that important to you more important than what is right?
Yeah, how are you supposed to survive in life if they can't get a job after going to school for 4, 5, 6 years and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they can't go get a job other than working at a minimum wage job?
But that's what's going to happen to most of them anyway.
Well, them. But what about the one person that spoke up because they took Jesse's advice, and I'm going to speak up for God and not out of fear? And then now I'm sitting here, you know, barely making ends meet.
I would speak up.
So
well, you get supported by me. That's why. That's why she speaks up, because I support her. So she ain't got to worry about getting fired. She just has to worry about not getting roses on Valentine's Day.
Are you taking her out?
I agree with a lot of the stuff you say, Jesse. I do.
Yeah.
I like some of the stuff you say. She just tries to push it on me, and I'm like, hey, let me do my own thing.
She shouldn't push it on you.
Okay, I'm not trying to, but okay.
You know,
she should
I'm
live
the type
it,
of
but
person-
not push it on you.
Right. She does it to me and my kids. And I'm like, hey, I'm the type of person, the more you push me, the more I reject you.
Everybody, most people like that.
Own.
Most people like that. You can't force it.
She doesn't understand that. She doesn't understand it. She thinks that by cramming it down your throat, she's going to force you to do it. And it doesn't work that way.
Ask Stacy why is she... Hey, ask Stacy why she's forcing it on you. Let me hear what she says.
Why I'm forcing it? Oh, well, I'm sorry if I am. I realize that now.
She's not.
But
Are you forcing it,
because
Stacy? Are you forcing it?
I'm trying. Well, I realize
No,
I am.
yes, you are.
No, let me answer. So now I realize I am. I am sending them things like that. Yes, I am, because I don't want our family to be in a fallen state anymore.
But
I'm waking
Stacy,
up.
you can't
I'm feeling
change that,
better.
though. Stacy.
Oh, I know.
You
I know.
just
I
become
realize
an
that now.
example and let God work through you, because God doesn't force the truth on anyone.
That's true. You're right, but I just, when I hear something that's wrong, I call it out, and then he gets mad at me, right? And it becomes a fight, and I don't know how to explain things as well as you do, so I'm just like, babe, you're wrong, and he gets upset or mad, like it's not. No, he says no. That's not. You can't speak up all the time and all this stuff, and so I don't know. I guess I should just be quiet, but
Yeah, if he say no, that's not true. Oh, okay, fine. Don't force it on him. You can't force it.
But she doesn't. She fights and argues with me because, like earlier in the call, she says, you didn't speak up. You said, hello. I was off. Hello, hello, hello. And then, and then she starts arguing with me. I'm like, you know what, whatever. I ain't got time for this. I'm the one who doesn't want to argue, so I leave it alone, and I be quiet, and then she gets mad.
Well, she's wrong for that.
Smile inside.
She's wrong for that.
yeah, I know that. But I just, he's just watched by you, and he's rejecting you. So, but I know I
do that just to piss her off.
No, you're a liar.
I do that. I do that just to piss her off. You see how she's acting? That's why I do it.
Don't be beta.
Oh, I'm not a beta. I laugh at her when she calls me a beta because I know I'm not a beta.
Yes, you are.
Amazing. Well, Ruben, don't get mad at her. She can't help it.
I know.
And Stacy, you can't force it on him, because if he accepted by force, then you're still the God maker, and that means that you can take it away from him.
I don't want that.
Yeah, leave your husband alone.
Okay.
Hey Jesse, let me say this.
Yes.
When she gets something new, to me, it's like I'm going to say a new fad. I know it sounds wrong, but like when we were younger and we had my first daughter who's 23 now. She was a year old, and I was taking her to church while she worked. I would take her to church on Sundays with her aunt. I would go to church, and her aunt would speak in tongues, and I would tell her, "Your aunt's crazy. That's not right.
I know.
People don't speak in tongues."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No. They know the Holy Spirit. That's the Holy Spirit talking to them." And I'd be like, "No, that's not the Holy Spirit. That's the evilness talking right there." And then she goes on to another fad with these people, and the only reason I'm saying brainwashed is because they sat there and told her, her aunt would tell her, "Oh, you can't drink, you can't have." Man, I would buy a 6-pack and it would last 2-3 weeks in my house. I wasn't a drinker. I'm not a drinker.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, when I come home from work and I want to have one, I can have one.
Right.
I can choose to in my own house. Her aunt came to our house, say, "No, he can't. That's evil and this and that." So what happens? She packs up and moves out. And then later on in life, she gets these other ladies and stuff, older ladies that are teaching her about, the Bible and stuff like that. And once again, she falls all into it. And there goes, it's her way of thinking. And she wants to enforce what she was taught at that time onto everybody and change everything instead of, trying to introduce us slowly, which is the same thing she's doing right now with you. And I'm like, hey.
No, I was in the fallen state.
That's how she wants to twist it. But, hey, you know what? Whatever. Hey, whatever works for you, I'm okay with it. But, hey, all I'm telling her is that, hey, take it slow.
Yes.
She goes head and over heels first, and she goes head and over heels. And what it does, and it makes me resent what she's trying to do because of the way she goes about it. She goes in 100%. She says, I judge her, but I am because of the way you go about it. And then later on, she's like, "Oh, babe, you were right. Oh, babe, you were
You're
right."
not right this time.
See? In 6 months, in about a year, I'll call you and say, "Who was right, Jesse?"
Yeah, but Ruben, listen, I totally understand what you're saying, but I want you to realize that your wife is looking for the love of a father, and so she needs you to guide her. She needs you
and I've done so.
And she needs for you to guide her and she needs to calm down and follow you rather than looking outside for other people to guide her.
But I can't be her father, though. I could be her husband, and I've done that ever since we got together.
But what you don't realize,
father,
no, but what you don't realize, Ruben, is that the husband does become the father. You're the father to your wife and your children. Once you're done making all the babies you're going to make with her, you could cut out the sex part, and you become the father of the family. You become.
So she can't call me daddy no more?
She will call you daddy, but it'll be the real daddy, not the sex daddy.
Nah, I don't want that daddy. I want the other daddy.
But you become the father. The husband will become the father. You see how the president is the father of the country?
Right.
Likewise, you become the father of the family. And so that's what she's looking for. And so you don't resent her for that. Don't get angry at her. You just point the right way. And after 50 years, she'll start to come around.
We're going 25 years into our relationship. If it's going to take another 25 years, man, I don't know what's going to happen because this woman is a stubborn woman, Justin. She is stubborn.
I know, but
and when it comes to our kids, and certain things, she jumps all in it before I even get a chance to say anything, and she's already made her decision in her mind. And I'm like, how am I supposed to discipline, or how am I supposed to correct? How am I supposed to do this, do that, if you've already come in and said this? And then she says, you don't help me. I can't help you because you've already said this, and there's no changing your mind.
But that's when you come in, and with the children and your wife, you get them all together, and you let her know in front of the kids that you are wrong for doing this. This is wrong. This is not.
Oh, you can't tell her that.
I'm sorry?
No, that was before. That was in the fallen state. See, he's saying all these things that aren't happening anymore. In the fallen state, I was like that. I was.
So, Ruben, you correct your wife in front of your kids so the kids, and you do it with patience. You be honest, but with patience. And the kids will learn from you how you deal with things by dealing with your wife in the right way. And when they grow up, they will naturally deal with life in the right way because they notice how the father did it.
I agree with that. And let's say, for instance, the other day, she was having a disagreement with my young girl. She's 14, and I can't remember what exactly it was about. And she's sitting there arguing back and forth with her, and I'm like looking at her. I'm telling my daughter, said, that's enough. Trying to tell my wife, that's enough too. And then she says, that's why your kids don't respect me because you don't back me up. I'm trying to get the conversation to stop so I can say something. But hold on a second.
Okay.
But that's how she takes it, and she says, I'm not telling the whole truth. Hey, and then later on, when both kids were calmed down, I sat there and talked to my daughter and told her, you don't need to be doing this, and that's not how it needs to be done. And I said, you need to start respecting your mother a lot more than you're doing.
No,
I said,
to her.
She did. Yes, she did. But this is after I calmed everybody down, and we were able to talk civilized. But when they're both arguing and going at it like that, I'm telling my daughter, stop, and she stops, and then Stacy keeps, barking at her. I'm like, I'm trying to get her to stop so that we can have a peaceful conversation.
Yes. Stacy, let me ask. So when you argue with your daughter like that?
I wasn't, he says I'm arguing, but I really was trying to explain her disobedience. And I was telling her, I was apologizing to her for my behavior. And then my husband did not agree with what I was saying. So then instead of talking to him in private, I did make a mistake and say, well, you should have protected the kids when I was acting like that, when I was, abusive like that with my words. And sometimes when I got aggressive with him with a spanking, because I apologized to the other two. And so he got upset because I said he should have protected them from me. I told him he should have called the cops when I was getting like that, right?
Did you say it in front of the children? Did you say that in front of the children?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I did, and I shouldn't have done. Oh well, I feel like I shouldn't have done that because he got really upset.
No, when you said if you said to your husband right then and there, you should have stopped me when I first did this. You should have called the cop. I was wrong for the way I treated my children. Then you were right about that. Isn't that right, Ruben?
Yes, it is. But like I tell you, this woman, there's no controlling her, and I've told her that before. I told her there was no controlling you back then. If I would have tried to sit there, and as far as she goes, she would just spank her, but she kind of like go a little crazy. But it's nothing abusive and like that, but the words and stuff like that were hurtful words, you know. And I'm like, hey, and I would tell her, don't talk to your kids like that. Those are your kids. I mean, you had them for 9 months in you, and she's like, you know, those are my kids now, dude. And I'm like, you know, and there's a point. And she says that I left her alone. You know, hey, sometimes work has to be done differently. You know, I had to go work nights for 3 years, and you know, she says I left her alone. I'm trying to make our family, you know, better and live better and stuff. You know, and
I understand.
She says I left her alone.
So, do you see a change? Is there a change in Stacy now where she realized that she was wrong and now she's trying to do it the right way? Is that happening?
Yes, there is, but when she tries to explain, you know, how wrong she was, she's still, to me, overly aggressive, and that's why my daughter was like that, because my daughter even says, she goes, sometimes I feel like you don't like me because of how overly aggressive she is, even in the apology.
Oh. Stacy, listen to your husband. It makes sense when I'm not there, so I don't know the situation, but you need to just relax and just become what you think is right, and the kids will see it, and then they will start to change.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what he's saying, but yeah, I agree. I mean, I was trying to, and see, it was the wrong timing because I was trying to apologize, and it ended up becoming what it is, and I think because of his, you know, because of what I said, it just made him mad.
Yeah, your husband sounds very reasonable, so start listening to him and let him take over the family. I mean, by you getting out of the way, it'll work out fine.
Yeah, I know. You said that the other day, and I was like, ooh, yeah, I have bad habits.
Beta.
No, I don't need to be a beta. You need to be an alpha. He doesn't understand beta and alpha.
I got to run, but Ruben, it was so good to meet you, and thank you, Stacy, for introducing Ruben to me. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.